The cinema, where researchers just recently discovered people will actually go watch stuff about women. Who knew?
All right. Are you actual huge Swifties, or are you just here celebrating women dominating the economy?
We're huge Swifties.
We saw her in MetLife.
Yes.
We're seeing her in Amsterdam.
Yes.
We're seeing her in New Orleans.
This could actually make Taylor a billionaire. And I know people give billionaires a hard time, but isn't it kind of cool when it's a girl?
I would say that it's better,
Yeah.
but not great.
Okay.
Because Kylie Jenner is a billionaire, and
Yeah.
it's still not that cool.
Okay, follow-up question. Why don't you support women?
I personally support women's rights and wrongs. When a woman does something right, it's like, yay, like, woman. And then when she does something wrong, it's a little more okay because she's a woman.
Yeah.
So-
I built an entire brand on this. You don't have to explain it to me. Tell me about your friendship bracelets.
I have all the eras.
And what's your favorite one if you had to pick one?
My favorite one would have to be Our Song.
My favorite era is my current era, which is tired and always bloated. Do you want to switch?
No.
Do you still listen to the Scooter Braun versions?
Occasionally. We do sometimes.
Yeah. They listen to the Scooter Braun version. They still listen to it. There's a lot of debate over whether to be standing or sitting, quiet or screaming. Will you be screaming?
I think I want like the full Rocky Horror Picture Show experience. You know,
Got
like
it.
the calls and responses. You never get to scream in public, and now you get to.
Well, you've never seen me in an Orange Julius.
A safe space for women to gather and let loose that doesn't involve stationary bikes? I'm in.
Sold out. Totally sold out. Who would have thought? So how did you like the movie? No spoilers, but like, did she finish the concert?
Yes.
Which song did you use for a bathroom break? Be honest.
We accidentally missed Anti-Hero.
Kids, you just have to learn to hold it in until you get a kidney infection.
Oh my gosh.
Was everyone singing in there or totally silent?
I feel like I was kind of singing under my breath.
Less singing and more muttering and enchantment.
Yeah, like a prayer, like in church.
Do you think Taylor should be tax exempt?
Well, she's already altering local economies everywhere.
The fans were crazy. Everybody was singing. Everybody was dancing. The sound in the cinema, it's amazing. Although everyone was screaming, I could hear every word.
I mean, this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, but I'm coming back tomorrow.
Oh, back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. They all wishing you happy birthday. You celebrated a born day on Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
This past Monday.
Yes, sir.
And you celebrated a #1 record with Save Me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
sir.
Man, what a birthday
Having a
present.
big week, baby.
Yeah. It went #1 on the country charts.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the Daily Show
Daily
with
Show.
Charlamagne the God, baby.
You know I love Save Me, man. You released it, 3 years ago on YouTube?
Yes, sir. Yes,
3 years ago on YouTube, and you posted, I know this is a little different for me, but I'm wondering if this should make the album or not. Y'all let me know below. Why didn't you believe the song should make the album?
Oh, man, insecurity, that voice of negativity that gets in all of our ears, man, that one that we fight every day. I'm glad I fought it enough to put it up.
Absolutely. Did Save Me taking off change your perspective on the type of music you do and how you release it? Because just 3 years ago it came out, but it just went #1 on the country charts this week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One, it showed me that sometimes you got to let a song find people.
Right.
You know, music meets us where we are. That's the beauty of it, Charlamagne, is that music is therapeutic. It's there to help and heal. It's a constant in a life that doesn't have many constants in it. So I'm just glad to see the song finally touch people.
I love your story, too, man. 15 years ago, you were in prison, and now you're a Grammy-nominated musician. So I guess my question is, So my question is, should everybody go to prison?
Yeah.
To find success?
Yeah, but no. Yeah, exactly. They're giving it away free, y'all, especially. I promise. It's real easy to get there. It's easier than you think. 3 hots and a cot, baby. You got a guaranteed bed, 3 meals a day. It's all good, actually. It's cool. Might see a high school friend.
And I love your song, She, too, man, where you address the heroin and fentanyl epidemic.
Yes, sir.
Why is this song so important to you?
You know, man, I think it's important as an artist for us to talk about the things that people are afraid to talk about.
That's right.
And that art sometimes is an expression of what words are even afraid to say. So I think it's a responsibility as a songwriter to write those kind of songs. And the fentanyl epidemic is sickening. What's happening in America right now is absolutely sickening. I think it's 14 people. Thank you. Thank y'all. So I think I heard a statistic that it's 14 people an hour overdose and die in the United States of America every hour on the hour.
Damn.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 366 in a leap year. I'm that country. But and I think if you think about those numbers alone, it shows me that you heard people here sharing that it has affected every household,
That's right.
every side of the aisle. Everybody in America has been affected by this some way or the other, and I think it's time we stand up and do something about it.
What would you? That's right. What would you tell people who are struggling with that addiction?
I would tell them that there is hope. That my biggest message as I had my first viral clip, Charlamagne. I don't know if you know it.
Come on, I reposted it.
I know you did. You helped it go viral. And I was talking about how it's so important for us to recognize that our windshield is bigger than our rearview mirror for a reason, because what's in front of us is more important than what's behind us.
That's right.
Who we were is not who we are.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I saw you post a pic of you meeting Dolly Parton this past month. As a country artist from Tennessee, is that like your version of meeting the Pope?
Oh, dude, yes.
Okay.
Insane. It was like meeting Jay-Z.
Okay.
It was that big. It couldn't have got no bigger for me. Dude, she's the queen. I've never seen, I don't know what you know. You're from the South, but I don't know what y'all know about a little town called Sevierville, Tennessee. It's where Dolly Parton's from, and before Dolly Parton was from there and then went back to create the biggest economical shift in the history of East Tennessee,
wow,
you wouldn't have cared to know Sevierville, Tennessee. I mean, it was a map dot is what we call it. It was a dot on the map, dude. It made Monk's Corner look big.
Really?
You know what I mean?
What was the population?
Yeah, I mean, oh, God, back then, nothing. I mean, probably in the early thousands.
Yeah.
But she went back to build Dollywood and has made it one of the best places to travel in America. So everything she's done, from music to her stance, the way she carried herself, Dolly Parton is her philanthropy. She is who I aspire to be, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for chatting with us. You are a MacArthur Genius Award winner, Grammy winner, Pulitzer Prize winner. You studied opera in college, but this is what really got me. You write all your music with the banjo?
I write a lot of my music with the banjo and voice and fiddle and whatever instrument I have around. Yeah.
When I think of the banjo, and correct me on this, but when I think of the banjo, I know you will. I picture that scene in Deliverance, and it's down in the South, and it's scary, and is that an accurate depiction of the banjo?
No, and that's part of the problem, is that media has really warped our idea of how American music came to be. The banjo is an African-derived instrument. It was invented by people of the African diaspora in the Caribbean, and African-American people were co-creators of old time and what became bluegrass music and country music. And it's only in the Yes, thank you. But it's really in the early 1900s and 20s when media and how we segregated American music into these different buckets in order to sell it. Yeah. It just changed our perception, and we've lost a lot of our history. And so that's been a drive of mine for a really long time, is to change that.
Can I be ignorant for a second?
If you like.
A guitar versus a banjo.
Yes.
I mean, I know they look different, but what is the difference?
I mean, how long do you have? Well, they come from different. I mean, look, to break it down, the banjo really is descended from a lot of different West African lute instruments, and there's a percussive mode about it. There's on a lot of banjos, there's 5 strings, a little short string, which is a drone string, which means it's in one key, and it's very different. And actually, the banjo was more popular than the guitar for a long time in America. The guitar is a relative latecomer, so it's kind of like the banjo is like our indigenous instrument. You know, if you are also, you have to remember all the indigenous instruments with indigenous people who were here, before a lot of people came. But in terms of America as a nation state, yes. I mean,
no, but this is
they're still here, by the way. They're still here. But America as a nation state, a colonial state, whatever, the banjo is this co-creation between different cultures of working class poor people that made it, and it's unique.
Glasper.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to the Daily Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Good to have you here
For sure.
for one of the most anticipated albums, I think, of all time.
All time, period.
Genuinely, of all time.
Past Thriller.
Like
for sure.
before music was even invented, people have just been like, this is what we've been waiting for.
And I'm acting like it's not a big deal, but it is. So, we know now.
Man, I feel like you're a big deal, though, man. It's like, there are a few musicians like you'll meet or you'll hear about where every musician wants to work with them. You know, with comedians, we say it's a comedian's comedian.
Right.
You know, you are a musician's musician.
Right.
Everyone from Erykah Badu all the way through to like her and Corday and Kendrick Lamar. Let's start with that. What do you think it is about your music that every musician gravitates towards?
I think it's just being honest, the honesty of it all, because I'm technically trained, a little bit of classical music, but I went to school for jazz, all that stuff. So I have that, but at the same time, and with all the genres that I play with the masters of that genre. So when I cross over, it's a real thing, you know what I mean? So I play with the masters of hip hop. I used to play in the Roots. I played with Jay Dilla, you know what I mean? I used to play with Q-Tip and Common and all those, so that's the hip-hop thing. And then the R&B world, we're just talking about playing with Maxwell for years.
Yes,
and my friend Bilal and Ledison, Layla Hathaway and all these other people. And, I grew up playing with my mother was a singer, a vocalist. So it's like I was just in those slots with the real people for so long. Yeah. So I can tap into that, you know what I mean?
I like this is like in a kung fu movie, you go and learn with all the best masters of all the different styles.
I'm like Bruce Lee of the piano. It's like the Wing Chun of music.
Bruce Lee of the piano.
That's what it is.
Come and see him, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Glasper. They call him the Bruce Lee of the piano. I mean, there's a few people who could argue with this. Like for those who don't know, I mean, like, let's say somebody like Kendrick Lamar, He's known to be one of the most meticulous artists out there.
Absolutely.
You work with him on Pimp a Butterfly, right? So Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
But the way it happens is you're supposed to be there for one song.
Yeah.
He hears you play.
Yeah.
And then he goes like, no, all of it.
All of it, yeah. I was there. My friend Terrence Martin called me. He's like, yo, come by the studio. I'm here with Kendrick now. I need you to play for one song.
Wait, that happens in real life?
Literally in real life.
See, I've heard that like in movies and stuff, be like, come to the studio right now. I didn't know that was real.
It was I was recording my own record. I was recording my record covered. And my boy Terrence called me. He's like, you in LA? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm at the studio. I'm at Dr. Dre's studio with Kendrick. Come now. After you finish recording that, come there. And I went there, played the first song, and Kendrick was there. He's like, whoa. Keep him there. Pull up so-and-so. Pull up so-and-so. And I would hear it once and play what I heard. He's like, play what you hear. Wow. And I literally did every song in one take, play what I heard. So I'm on like 9 or 10 songs. Some of the stuff I didn't even get credit for because it happened so fast. You know what I mean? After, but like everything happened so fast. But it was amazing, man. And Kendrick's so open. He's like a jazz musician to me.
Yes,
he's just
he
so
is.
open, and whatever happens in the moment, he's like, let's do that. You know what I mean? So
when you're choosing who to collaborate with on your albums, I mean, you have a pick. Every artist wants to work with you. You love working with different artists. You don't just pick who you want to work with, you also pick what genre you want the album to fall into. And not many people can do that. Like, I didn't know this until I was doing the research for this interview. I didn't know that when it comes to the Grammys, you have to choose which category your music is going to be in.
You choose what category
That's
your
a gamble.
Is going to be. Absolutely.
Because in jazz, you pretty much know, I mean, come on.
I was a jazz, and that's what happened with my first Black Radio album.
Yes.
Black Radio 1, it came out 2012.
Okay.
And I'm a jazz musician, so I had 4 jazz albums before that.
Right. And you've won 4 Grammys.
I've won 4 Grammys. Exactly. I'm out here. You know what I mean? But it's not about the awards, it's about the music. But with that, everybody's like, oh, you're a jazz musician, so put the album in the jazz category. But I was on the streets. I was on tour with Maxwell.
Yes.
I'm knowing what's happening in the R&B world. The R&B world loved the record.
Right.
The hip hop world loved the record.
Right.
So I knew, like, I'm seeing it happen in real time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in the R&B category. And when we got nominated, I was like, oh man, I was done then. I was like, we're not gonna win. But
That's
I was like,
the vindication you needed.
Vindication I needed. And then when you have Jimmy Jam.
Why do you think you're not gonna win?
Because no one knew me in that category. No one knows me. No, at that time, no one knew me in that world.
Yeah, but
so I'm kind of thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we got nominated at least. I'm good for that. I'm not thinking we're gonna win.
That's
because
not how Bruce Lee would think.
That is not how Bruce Lee would think.
You know?
That's true.
Bruce Lee would go, I'm gonna win the Grammy.
I became Bruce Lee right after that Grammy. That's when I became Bruce Lee.
Got it. The grasshopper.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
For sure.